So what happens when Bob Ross decides to ditch his hobbies of painting and meets up with a video game character? They make a train wreck of an entire commentary. Hence where I come in. This is A363MTR Commentates Quickies, a side series where it's like the original series, but instead I try to make it short and to the point instead of making it extremely long. I'll be your host for today's show, A363MTR, here to kick some ass because I got your back. So, for context, Chemical Cutie makes a rant about the Winx Club. This was posted on November the 7th, 2016. Then on June the 21st, 2018, two people by the name of Himoutu, Chara, and Frosty Bomb, aka Benjamin Perry, did a commentary on that. Chihiro would be using Finnison Brooks from Catherine/Persona 3 Portable, and Frosty uses Bob Ross. That's a weird choice of an avatar, but alright. And then I come in. For today's avatar, considering that it's a quickie, and I'm hoping that this quickie doesn't suck than the last one. Hopeful redemption, bitches!
Oh yeah, if you see subtitles for Frosty's part, when I was recording from the Endcam, like for the lines, Discord was like pretty much glitching, and it was from either the recorder I was using or internet, I don't know, but yeah, so that's why there's subtitles for Frosty and not me. Alright, let's begin.
Well, I have two questions. Number one. Why did you record Frosty's line in a Discord call? Like, I get that Frosty uses a text-to-speech software in their videos from what someone told me about you, but couldn't you have found a better way of getting Frosty's lines, like getting a free voice recorder on the App Store or using their editing software to record their lines and send it to you in a zip file or unlisted video, where you then could have converted them into an audio via MP4/MP3 converter? Sure, you can state that it's a bit of a longer process, but in the end, the product would come out so much better and it wouldn't lead to. Number two, if you knew Discord screwed up on your partner's lines, then why didn't you re-record them, since there were several times in the video where your partner lines are practically cut via Discord's connection, which looks really bad, and those subtitles looks more like a bandage applied to a brain tumor than of Frosty's choppy audio.
Oh.
Sup, my nibba?
I have a video. It's a Winx video. Like a Wink rant.
You mean Winx?
Yeah, Winx Club. And the channel's name is Chemical Cutie.
Sounds interesting.
Video for yourself. If there's any problem, we'll cover it.
Okay. Hey, I found some problems with it. Let's do this.
This intro skit is just really bland. For one, the interaction between the two isn't interesting, as the both of you go, yo, I got a video, you wanna see it? Sure. And then we have here the one viewing later cliche. Sure, you didn't put in the one viewing later, instead just say later, but you're still doing the one viewing later cliche considering the fact that you're going to look at the video. Then later, you've stated that you're going to do a commentary on this video. Yeah, sure, cliches aren't inherently wrong, but only when you're doing something interesting to it. And I'm not entertained with how uninteresting it was. Oh, and not only is this bland, but it's also really not necessary, as not only did you state towards who you're covering in the actual intro card, but in your actual intro statements where you're introducing the commentary.
Okay, so today,
our target is Chemical Cutie.
Finish!
Sorry.
We're covering Chemical Cutie, a ranter who ranted on a show called, wait, this video came like 2016, what's wrong with me?
Too long didn't listen version. This intro skit is really mediocre.
Squirtle.
Hello, I'm Chemical Cutie. Going awful on a bad note. Excuse the mess of my room. Okay, since it's Thanksgiving, I want to talk about cartoons. Old classic cartoons that most people don't know, but some of you old heads might know. So anyone got any cartoon suggestions, put them down in the link below. That's going to be my question. What should I do my next video on? And I'm still waiting for people to give me a YouTube name for my channel, so I'm going to check the comments after this.
So, where's the rant? All you've been doing so far was promote people to request old shows and a YouTube channel name, even though you got one already.
Well then, thanks for helping out. A family of moles build a mountain instead of a hill. Like, this is just less than 32 seconds in. Why are you griping about how it's not a rant right now? Also, couldn't one argue that Chemical Cutie is trying to change her username? Like, yeah, she has a username already, but what if she doesn't like her current username and can't come up with a new one so that she's asking her audience for suggestions?
Problems with one of the of the setup. There's a bit of a Japan art of the room. However, this also feels a bit out of nowhere. Like, this was never in the script at all. Maybe set it up before, not after, because it won't the video a bit unnecessary.
I don't get it. Like, never in the script? Are you talking about not having a script? Or something about having a bunch of fan art being cluttered around the room is not pre-planned and should be taken down before you make the video? Like, I'm generally confused as towards what your point was about, considering the fact that your wording here sucks without any care about grammar, even with the subtitles that your co-op partner put it in.
But I thought I'd talk about my old favorite cartoon. Time to go back to the awkward years of Dot. When I was a little girl, I used to like the Winx Club. Not the crappy version Nickelodeon remade, not the raw English version, the Italian version, or, well, the 4Kids version. 4Kids was a thing, and it was awesome. I cannot deny it was awesome. They had so many good cartoons. They had anime, they had Sonic.
Yeah, 4Kids! The same company that basically removed the original Japanese symbols on signs, replaced guns with lamps, and erased any mention of Japan and their culture. What a good company!
Jesus H. Christ on a pogo stick. Did you really have to make a point against a subjective opinion like that? This doesn't really debunk her point, considering that she's just admiring the cartoons in a subjective level. And she's not stating that 4Kids is superior than everything else, and that's that.
Oh, okay. I'm confused. So you don't like the crappy version of Winx Club? Which is the Nick dub, right? Oh yeah, I also forgot. No, the 4Kids dub is in English, but without the Japanese. Well, also 4Kids, like, not using some into their English, and so 4Kids does not exist now.
Okay, Himoutu, I'm starting to think that Frosty within this entire commentary isn't helping your commentary in the slightest, since within this interjection he didn't debunk her point as well. In fact, part of me also thinks that he's regurgitating your points too, since this point here was kinda the same thing that you've stated about the Japanese symbols being taken out. Anyways, I'm skipping the next part because Himoutu here fast forward the next section of the original degree to the point where I couldn't understand Chemical Cutie at all. And I kinda really don't want to watch Cutie's video and try to understand Frosty's point at all.
Now, let's talk about the remake. The raw and Nickelodeon version. The ones I hate. The Nickelodeon version and raw version are just the same, so I'm gonna talk about them at the same time. They both suck. It's like taking a classic Mexican recipe, then dumping a bunch of Turkish food in there. It's not done. You have ruined, like, so many nostalgia girls' minds that I don't even know if I can rebuild them. I mean, I had to watch the first 3 seasons. I had to watch the first, second, and third season of the original 4Kids and Italian version 500 times just to get that awful thing in my mind. Plus, I had to watch the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th season of the new one just so I can do this review. Plus, even came out of a movie. I'm scarred for life.
You ain't using it right, honey. Scarred implies that you had trauma, and trauma implies a disturbing experience. Like, did the reboot fuck your mom? Cause you're implying that it was traumatic.
Well, shoot, never mind for the fact that the word scarred can also be used for stuff that's not for psychological drama. For example, her way of using it was with having to watch the 2 dubs of the Winx Club, and made her feel traumatized due to the 2 dubs ruining her nostalgia with Winx Club. Don't get me wrong, Cutie's point isn't correct too, since just because 2 dubs she dislikes came out after the original dub doesn't hurt the original quality in any way, but her use for the word scarred fits for the context here. Also, never mind for the fact that she could also, exaggerate as towards how she felt about the situation too. Like, isn't the scarred for life phrase used for comedy within many forms of media too? And honestly, I just kinda want to stop here and just not focus on their final thoughts. That and Frosty Bomb decides to be a yes man with his final point too. Final thoughts? I'm sorry, Bob, but there's no such thing as happy accidents anymore.